Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yasha if you're new here. Today I wanted to give you my 5 best tips for ERAS. My first tip for ERAS is making sure your activities and your experiences sections are very curated, meaning you don't want to include everything that you've ever done. Include the things that speak to you, that help tell your story, and have contributed to you or your character in some way. And that way, when your interviewer asks you about them, you know exactly what you want to say. There's no thinking, there's no, it's just, oh yeah, I remember that, I spent this much time doing that, and this is what I learned from it. What you really want to showcase in that open text box is why you did that project. Like, why did it speak to you, and what did you learn from it, and how will it make you a better residency candidate? Those are the things that we really want to see. And if you can do that in 3 to 5 sentences, 3 to 5 bullets, which is my preferred way of reading applications, I think that is what you should include in your application. That brings me nicely to my second point, which is use formatting to your advantage. And that can be really difficult with ERAS because it's not really user-friendly. There's not like a little tab for bullets or anything like that. But you can use capital letters, which means if your name is in a paper or your name is in a project or in a poster, and it may not be the first, it might be second or third or the last author, put your name in capital so that my eye goes directly to it. Same thing goes for things you want to highlight in those open text boxes. Like I said, use bullets. And there is, I believe, a print function which will show you exactly what the application will look like when it's printed. And we do all of our applications kind of printed out like that. That's how we receive them when we are asked to review them from our program director. And even if they are sent to us in PDF, it's usually like a print PDF, so you can see exactly what the bullets will look like. You can go back and fix them, and that is my major tip, is print it, see what it looks like, and reformat it until it looks exactly how you want. This brings me to point number 3, which is use every piece of ERAS to your advantage. That means don't leave anything blank, don't lose an opportunity to tell us about you. So when I ask you for your hobbies in ERAS, I don't want to know that you like to hike and that you like to cook and that you like to watch movies. I want to know, where have you hiked? What was your favorite hiking trail? Do you like short hikes or long hikes? Do you like mountains? Do you like flat hikes? Like, I want to know about your hikes. Second of all, if you like to bake, tell me what you like to bake. Do you like cookies? What's your favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe? I have learned so much from the applicants that I've interviewed, and this is like my favorite area of ERAS to even read, so make it interesting for me. And the same rule applies for like that area, I don't remember exactly what section of ERAS it's called, but where you list like the professional societies that you're a part of. And I think that you can really take advantage of this section. Don't just list out like, you know, I'm part of the AAMC and the medical blah 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 and this and that, and just make it like a list. You know, use it. Say that you're a part of the RSNA and tell me in what capacity. You might be a member, you might be part of a task force, you might be part of something else. Tell me about that, and just use that area to just like showcase a little bit about yourself. You don't have to do a lot. I would rather read 3 meaningful sentences rather than a list of 20 societies, which you may have just signed up for because it was free. And even if you're a part of one thing, just tell me about it. That helps show your interest in the specialty, because if you're only a part of the medical student-specific organizations, that's one thing, but really getting involved with ACR, RSNA, things that are radiology-specific, or whatever specialty that you are applying for, if you really take it one step further and say that you're a part of a specific committee, or there's a specific thing that you attended that you enjoyed, those become talking points during your interview. So I would say use every single part of ERAS to your advantage, including these sections that are commonly kind of glossed over. These are our favorite sections to read, and you can really set yourself apart by putting something interesting in there about yourself that I otherwise wouldn't know. My 4th tip is to make sure that you highlight what you want me to know about you within your application. Don't rely on your MSPE to get the message across. What I mean by that is, if you have a certain geographical tie, talk about it in your personal statement. If you've done an away rotation or a virtual rotation in a location that you're interested in, put it in your activities or experiences section so I see it specifically. If you did a really interesting elective and that somehow relates to what you want in a residency program, for example, you did an informatics elective or you've done something with AI, make sure you put that in your activities and your experiences so that I see that, and then you can say, oh yeah, well that's what I'm interested in and that's what brings me to your program. Things like that. That will always kind of close the loop, and it helps me understand you better as a person. My last tip, which might be the most important, is to make sure you submit your application before they get released to programs. So if they're getting released on October 21st, make sure that you have it submitted by October 20th. You don't want to be that person that submits it right after the program hits download, because if they have hit download, your application isn't going to be in that pile. Now, whether your application is at the top, in the middle, or in the bottom of the pile, I don't know, but you have to make sure your application is in the first pile that they go through to optimize your chances and interview. Alright guys, but these were my 5 top tips for ERAS from the interviewer perspective. I hope that you found these helpful. If you did, if you wouldn't mind giving my video a like or subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!